studio. Oh, it's been
a minute. Let's just say that.
Yes, it's been a minute. Exactly. It's not been a long time. It's been a minute. But we are back and we are starting this new year with a topic that I actually do have some questions about because, we're talking about goals, basically. Goals. Why do we make goals? Should we make goals? Sharing some of our goals as well. And, so I think the first thing I'd like to kick off with is finding out, why do we make goals in January? Why does it have to be January?
In January. Oh, okay. I feel
or
like,
the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of a unknown pressure. Yeah, like a subconscious pressure.
Right.
Yeah, so we just automatically feel like it's in January that, we have to be new year, new me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be January. It can be every month. It can be any time. Yeah, it doesn't have to be specific.
Exactly, but that's the thing. It's like, I feel like a lot of times because we may not have started the year with a new goal or a new, something, then it's like, you feel demoralized and like, oh, well, I should just coast through until the next quarter. It's almost like society has made us feel like everything has been divided into, it's either in January or then it's in April or it's in,
Yeah, that's true. I think one thing as well that you have to think about, right, is sometimes having the goal at the beginning of something is more motivating.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost like it gives you a central point to just focus on.
Absolutely.
So if it's the beginning of the year, then it's like, okay, it's going to be a new year. It's going to be new opportunities, perhaps, maybe new mindset, stuff like that.
Right.
Because maybe, maybe halfway through the year, you've gone through a lot of things during the first 6 months, so it's a bit like, oh, maybe now's not the right time for me to set goals. I don't know, but I think it's a personal thing, really, but I do think it's a subconscious thing that we all do. I don't think one person alone doesn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you start a goal in January?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, you did?
Of course I did. But the thing is, I think with me, one thing I'm going to do this year, right, is I'm going to set goals every month. So so usually I set goals at the beginning of the year for the whole year, but I feel like now I'm breaking it down more, so I'm being more specific, and I'm going to be setting goals every month. Yeah,
just and I think stuff. that's even really useful because it's like it's more attainable because it's not so grand and it's like so frightening because you don't know how to start and but bite size,
I think it's good,
is the way forward.
Yeah.
So do you want to share?
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I can share one of them. Like, one of my main goals for this year is a spiritual goal, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like one of the things last year I didn't do right was I didn't break down my goals. Right. So this year I said, I am going to be different. Right. I'm going to get myself a planner and I'm going to write down things. Yeah, I got myself a lovely planner and I made sure I wrote down everything and I broke down the different types of goals. So relationship type of goals, financial goals, spiritual goals. Yeah, because usually I don't do that. I just write like generic goals.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, like for me, I started a goal and yes, I fell into the pressure, started in January. I wanted to get fit and, keep the curves.
But it's happening.
Yes. I can proudly say that I've seen a difference, changed my diet, and it's really going well. So I think for me now, I wouldn't say worried, but what I just don't want to fall into is that I started and then it started to dwindle off because then that's another thing because you've rightly set goals. You want to set goals every month. But whereas I haven't set the goal like every month, I've just started the bulk in January and I'm hoping that by December...
It's still going,
It's still going,
It's a tough one. I feel like that's also where God comes in as well, involving him in our goals.
Absolutely.
It's all good, right, to have goals, but the one thing that you have to think about, especially as a Christian, is God involved in my goals. Sometimes we have goals and if you think about it, God actually isn't involved in it.
Absolutely. And that's so crazy because the other day, just before I started my exercise, I literally just prayed and I was like, God, give me strength because, I've not exercised in, I cannot even tell you how many years. So trying to jump and do star jumps and do burpees and everything is like, it's punishment. It's grueling.
After not
doing that for so long. And
I can imagine that.
I was so like, I was moved to just say, I actually need help. I cannot do this alone. And I pushed through, I made it out. And this is not like cliche saying it, but actually I felt like a different type of energy just surging. And I saw like I kept envisioning the goal, the body that I wanted to achieve. And that's what kind of spurred me on. So yeah, definitely God is not like, it's not like, oh, you can only involve him in the massive things.
That's true.
You know,
That's
oh,
true.
I want to start a business, or I want to start a company or something
Or
like
just
that.
spiritual things as well, because you know, he wants to be a part of our everyday lives.
Everything.
And every single thing that encompasses our lives. Yeah.
So do you think that it's right to share goals with your friends? Like, say you've got 7 goals, would you say, okay, you know, I can freely talk about my goals with everyone?
Yeah, I feel like it is to an extent. Yeah, I feel like there are some goals that, of course, you keep to yourself, but there are others that you can freely share with your friends. And also, I like to do that. I like to speak to my friends a lot about things that are going on in my life, and my goals are part of my life, isn't it? So I think it's good to share your goals with your friends. However, just be careful who you're sharing them with. And be careful the goals that you're sharing as well, because like I said, some are quite personal. So
yeah, I think that's the right thing. But then again, if your friends are like-minded people, then it wouldn't be like
an issue, right?
An issue, exactly. Especially when you know that your friends are equally as driven as you. It's not that you have the same goals, but you have the same mindset of, we're trying to win and we want to win together. You know. So yeah, being free, but I do know that a lot of people are skeptical about sharing, and you know, there's some that you want to keep to yourself, and then there's others that, because you want to be accountable to someone, you're happy to share.
That's true. Accountability, actually, I didn't even think about that. I think one of the main reasons why it's good to share is to be accountable.
Right.
Yeah, because, you know, then later on you can look back at things and review, like, did you actually do it, or didn't you? Why didn't you? Stuff like that. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So now I've told you.
So now I'm gonna share all my goals with you.
Now if you see me eating a burger or something like that, you know, you can literally just be like,
I'll slap it out your hand.
Yeah, basically do that. Do that. I should probably just like give you like, you know, a paper walking around like, this is not right. So another question I actually wanted to ask is, as Christians, what do you think, not that is it right to make goals, but do Christians make different type of goals with in comparison to other people, or is it just a case of, you know, we all need to make goals and, you know?
I think that we do, you know, and the reason why I say that is because first and foremost, what should be on our goal list is actually spiritual goals.
Right.
And it's funny because sometimes if you don't think about it, like, you can be a Christian, right? And you can, you know, follow God and desire to know him more and more. But by the time you realize it, you actually haven't set yourself any goals in terms of getting to know him, you know? So then you just find yourself just going. Yeah.
Right.
I think goals are important because they give us a focus and they narrow things down a bit more. So, you know, it's good to say, I want to grow in my relationship with God. Okay, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
You know, I think there's something called SMART goals, whereby you break it down, like how you're going to achieve it, what you're going to do, like be specific. And I think that's one thing that is good for us in general. And then as Christians now, to be very specific in terms of our spiritual goals.
Yeah. And even like where it says in Habakkuk, you know, write the vision down. That's basically us making plans and making goals, setting out our goals, because when you have no vision, your vision is part and parcel of you. Those are your goals, that's your achievement. And in as much as it may not be like, you know, I want to spend more time with God, but because God is involved in everything, it's almost like you have to spend time with him, because then how do you know that you're walking in line, because when you're not, you know, touching base with him.
I was about to say, you're not checking in with him, right?
Exactly.
So it could be that you're just walking, but are you actually walking according to his will?
Right.
I think that's why it's so important actually to involve God, to really
At
involve
all
God.
times.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to goals. So I would say it's great to pray about your goals. It's great to pray about them, because the Holy Spirit can lead you to make specific goals, and the Holy Spirit can also tell you, this one, it doesn't need to be a goal, you know?
Yeah. I think definitely, even just from this conversation, I will make bite-sized goals. I've definitely learned that. I like writing down, so I do have like writing it down and seeing it constantly, but that whole breaking it down is, I've learned that. Thank you. I think I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and you know, kind of break it down a bit more, because then it gives you something to look forward to each month as well.
Yes. And I think as well, breaking it down is lovely because, like you just said, right, every single month you're being specific.
Yeah.
So every single month you kind of know what that focal point is.
Right, exactly.
It's lovely.
Oh, that's
It
beautiful.
makes it easier.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, there's just something about me being able to break down my goals, right? Now I feel like I can actually achieve them. Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps they just felt too weighty, but now I see, okay, in terms of my finances, this is what I want to do. In terms of being spiritual or spirituality, this is what I want to do. Relationships, stuff like that. So
that's
I feel like
nice.
it's made it easier for me. So I'm happy. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I've actually really learned a lot from this. I thought it was, sometimes you just come and you think, you're just going to talk about, like, I won't say surface stuff, but, like, what you probably already know. But I've really taken out something from this. Thank you.
That's all right. I think I love talking about goals. That's why. It's been great, though.
Yeah, it has. So stay tuned for the next video.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, so Uche, what actually makes someone a good friend?